to How to TradingView. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to use the CPR, or the Central Pivot Range. Alright, so let's dive into it. As far as indicators are concerned, I came across 4 that might be kind of interesting. One of them is the pivot point tool itself that I've done in a previous video. Okay, and I've set this one to Fibonacci. Now, I'll leave it posted up just so you can get some context when I show you the rest of them, okay? But where we find the P, right, this is where we are going to be seeing where the central pivot range is formed. Okay, so let's just use this as a basic indicator. As you see, right, that Fibonacci P turns out to be that entire range right here. Now, some are larger, some are smaller than others, but this is essentially the tool that you use in order to be able to judge where the shift for the day is going to be happening, right? So the range of the actual move, right? So if it's going to the upside, it has this much of a range for it to pull back if it's going to continue. But if it breaks through that range again, then obviously we're going to be moving towards its original position. So let's just backtrack a little bit. Let's pick out this area, for example, right? This only goes back a week, right? But we can change that in the settings. Let's say 10, okay? Or 19, whatever, 10. So it'll pop up this one too. So you can see this CPR is tiny, right? The one before it, it's not even there. So let's put 17. Hopefully we pop back a little bit more. Okay, there they are. Now they're green. All right, so as you see, once it enters that range, it has a very strong chance of either reversing, going through it. Now, the way that this tool is set up is red means that it's going to be in a sell and green means that it's going to be in a buy. Doesn't mean that it's going to be 100%. All it means is it's a very strong chance that it's going to go in that direction, right? So not too bad of a tool, actually, that I found. And it's this one, let me just... how can we find the name of it? You know what? It's the first one on the list, so I'll just put Central Pivot Range. It's this one right here. Oh, no, not that one. From Crazy Doodle. There we go. Okay, not the MNJ. It's this one, CPR7. Right, that exact same one that I have right here. But I put 17, right? That's why it said 7 on the other one. So it is this one by Crazy Doodle. All right, that's the first indicator right there. And I like it. It's basic. If you combine it with the actual points, it's going to be a very useful combination for intraday trading. And as you see right here, I have it on the 15-minute time frame. The CPR strategy is mainly used on smaller time frames. It's meant to be traded just within the day. Okay, so just keep that in mind. The next one is the SD CPR, and this is what this one looks like. Okay, it's almost the same as the other one. The only difference is it just has green lines drawn above and below the pivot point, right? So it's a little cleaner, right? As you see, this one just has colored bars. So if you're taking buys and sells, you know, great. But as you see right here, this one says it's going to be going in a sell, and then this one says it's going in a buy. Right, so it doesn't mean that it's going to win them every time. This one doesn't even hit the pivot line. Right, doesn't mean that it's going to hit them every time. But so far it's looking like a pretty good opportunity. This, yeah, would have been super choppy. Right, so it's best to use these indicators with a little grain of salt. Right, especially you should know your own analysis and your own strategy if you want to include this into it. Right, so we'll just hide that one, and we'll hide this one, right? And then the next one is the developing CPR. So one interesting thing about this, it shows the pivot lines the day before they actually happen. Okay, so watch, I'll put CPR back on. So as you can see, the CPR the next day is exactly where this one is the previous day. I don't know how this calculation works, but it seems to be quite interesting where you know, if you take that one off and you see the daily pivot right here and it's showing that it's going to be way down here, what are the chances that it's going to drop that low, right? Or even here where it forms on that day, where the next pivot point is here, right? So again, we'll just pop on the standard. So you can see the thin green lines are up here on that day, but the developing CPR is way down here. So to be honest with you, as far as forecasting, this developing CPR is really good from what I've seen. Like, this is where the day starts. Okay, so 5 o'clock Eastern time, which is 3 o'clock my time. You see this pivot point is already down here, which if you're doing evening trades, which a lot of people, if they're working, have that possibility, right? This trade, you could exit it 1 in the morning or even at 8:30 in the morning, it still hits, right? This one, when the day opens, the trade is up here. It breaks through the pivot point, right? Even this one, it's showing that as this day is developing, this is where the potential is going to go. So to be honest with you, this is a very intriguing tool. I might actually start using it in my own strategy, but I really like the combination of, not this one per se, but I really like the combination of the pivot point, using the Fibonacci or Camarilla, and the SD developing CPR. Now, let's type it in, developing CPR. Here it is, day, week, month. Right? Same guy right there. So it's done by Govinsky with 49 ratings, I guess. I don't know what that's supposed to mean right now. Doesn't matter. So, that is 2 combinations of tools that are going to be very helpful. Yeah, try it out. It seems to be very, very interesting. And then the last one is CPR by DDT. And this is just, the same as before. The other ones are just different color coded. So nothing too spectacular there. But that is it's kind of the CPR in a nutshell. Hopefully that helped you out. Please leave a comment, rating, whatever. Thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.